Good morning. This morning we're going to be doing a 3 centers guided meditation. So finding yourself in a comfortable seated posture is the best position for you this morning to practice this with me. So closing your eyes and gently just bringing your awareness and your attention to your body, finding itself in the seat, and just turning the attention and the orientation to your lower limbs as your legs are coming into contact with the surface of what it is that you're sitting on and or the ground. And then placing your left hand onto your belly, around your belly button, and putting your right hand on top of your left hand. And as you're doing so, we're now making contact with the actual body. And you may start to notice the sensations and the movement that your breath creates in the belly center. This is the first of the centers, the wisdom center or the gut center. And it holds great intelligence beyond the mind that helps to inform certain of our reactions, our responses, and is the seat of the soul as it holds the wisdom through the body beyond the mind. So to get into contact with this as a grounding and earthing exercise, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. And on the inhalation, breathe deeply into the belly and actually feel it push out your hands. And then exhaling, just letting the air go. So on the inhalation, breathing in through your nose, filling that belly center, and on the exhalation, letting go. Do 2 more of these. This body intelligence center is responsible for our fight or flight or freeze responses. It's responsible for knowing and making quick, immediate decisions in our life. It's responsible for our survival. It's responsible also and holds the container of the emotions and feelings like joy. As you're breathing, just start to notice the hands moving with the belly and feeling this grounding, earthing energy that the center also holds for us, which is important in daily life to be anchored in our lives. So using the center consciously helps to anchor us. Our legs offer the stability as they touch the earth, as we make contact and ground ourselves. So it's also responsible for the practicalness of living daily life in a very practical, real, anchored way, connected to earth. The center also helps us get into action. So when we are wanting to intentionally live out the purpose of our lives, allow yourself to anchor into this body awareness, this gut center. Often our instincts are very true as they reveal the truth in the moment about how we actually are responding to a situation, event, and they help us to make decisions from that place rather than just using our brain, our thinking. And it is when all of these 3 centers come into balance that that's where the real gem of this lies, where we can come into harmony and alignment from the root of our being, at the base of our spine, all the way to the tip above the crown of the head. And when we access this intelligence residing within in an aligned way, that is when we are most powerful, most awake, most aware. So we start here in this gut instinctual center. Next, we move to the heart center. So this time I'd like you to place your right hand onto your heart region and your left hand on top. And just coming into contact with the heart. The heart embodies love, being loved. And our hearts are often open or closed, depending on the state of our emotions, our emotional being, our feelings, and again, our responses to life, to others, and to ourselves. So here, just coming into contact with this particular center, we're now going to draw in 3 deep inhalations. And this time, not just filling the belly with the air, but allowing the air to expand into the heart and the chest area, so that when you're breathing in deeply, you're actually feeling your hands being pushed out as your chest expands outwards and open into life. So let's do this together. So taking 1 deep inhalation through the belly, allowing the breath to expand fully into the chest, and at the top pausing before we exhale. And on the exhale, allowing the breath just to sigh out. And 2 more. You may have even felt a slight tingling or vibration through your hands as your air moves in and out through this chest, and you can actually feel it entering and exiting your lungs. So the idea here is to come into contact with the emotional body, bringing awareness, just noticing what the emotional feeling quality is like of your heart and what it is possibly trying to communicate to you of its state this morning. Noticing if it's open, heart open, with lightness, with a feeling of love, with a feeling of possible expansion, love for self, love for just being here, now, alive. Possibly love that is just pouring out of your heart for others and extending into the world at large. Or noticing if it might be more constricted, protecting itself, closed, noticing if there's any dull sensations. And the more that we can breathe into this heart feeling center of our body and get in touch with our emotions, our feelings, what the heart is experiencing, this too helps to inform our decisions, as we want to be aligned in harmony with what our heart, our feeling, and our thinking, our head center, as well as our instinct, our wisdom brings, so that we can take the best steps forward in alignment and harmony. And when our heart is open, oh, what a beautiful feeling we experience through this center. The love, the compassion, the empathy. It's the relational center that we have between us as an individual and others. So it comes into play in the interpersonal space. So just breathing into the center and just noticing what is here now for you as you're accessing your heart center. And then we move into the head or the thinking center. And this part has been well emphasized, particularly in the West, and has been revered in the West for its capacity to bring logic, rationale, reasoning applying its analytical thinking. And yes, while the brain has a great function and place to play in life, it sometimes can be an overused center where we can rely on it solely for informing the decisions. And sometimes we neglect to check in with our heart and what our wisdom, our gut is also saying to us. But when we look at this center of intelligence, the head, it's really useful for making decisions that require observing, thinking, reflecting, making decisions. So just becoming aware of this center of yours and how you tend to use it and how it operates in your life. And just notice for yourself what thoughts you have about your thinking center. You may possibly be wondering at this moment, is it an overused center? Is it an underused center? Is it in balance with your heart, your feelings? What is the dance between the heart and the head? And what typically tends to rule the conversation in your mind as you step forward into your life and act from a particular intelligence center? So the idea here is just to notice, become aware of the head, either its busyness, its activity, its possible quietness, and how you can use it to its best purpose so that you become master of your thoughts and not slaves to them. I'd like to read to you this quote from Sai Baba on June the 3rd. Thoughts turn into words, words turn into deeds, deeds turn into habits, habits turn into character. Therefore, watch your thoughts. Thank you for joining me in this morning's three-centered guided practice. I wish you a balanced day.